Welcome everybody to yet another Facerocker Podcast, number 92. We're getting old. There's a lot of these podcasts. At a certain point, there's no chance anyone's going to listen to the older ones, but that's okay. I say live in the moment. Keep following along and just, live week by week. This week, we talk about the Hulu show, which is going to be coming out December 2nd. We just got back from New York Comic-Con, which was fantastic. Thank you to all of you who were out there and supported us by showing up to our panel and not making us feel embarrassed with a empty room. We actually filled up the room, so that's good. That increases our likelihood of getting asked back next year, I am told. But honestly, most of this episode we're spent we're just yelling at Jon Karmen because he's the world's worst Destiny raid partner. By the way, if you, after listening to this episode, feel the need to help us out on our rating, feel free to send an application to Rocket Jump Tweet. You need to be level 40 or 290 light level or above. We could use some help, as you'll hear in very short order. Today's episode is brought to you by Squarespace. If you have an idea for a website, blog, you want an online store going, but you're not quite sure how to do that, and you're afraid, I picked up an HTML for Dummies book, and I'm afraid of, my website not looking super profesh. Well, Squarespace is the spot for you. Squarespace has a bunch of very, very professional looking templates, 24/7 customer support. And if you want something to look good and professional, and it's on the web, there's no better place than Squarespace, and Squarespace will help you out with that. And we'll help you out if you head on over to squarespace.com and use the promo code FACEROCKER at checkout. You're going to get 10% off. So head on over there if you got a website that you've been hankering to build or whatever. They'll help you out, and they help us out too with this podcast. Enough of that. Let's get on to the show. Do you do the intros now, or do I do the intros?
I've been doing the intros.
Well, guess what? I'm taking them back. Welcome to the Facerocker Podcast number 92, live, coming at you with Freddie,
live.
Matt. It's live right now.
Right now it is.
Hate to break it to you, Matt. You get your head in the game. It's happening. It's happening right now, and you're here. Everything is happening.
Speaking of getting your head in the game. Hey, John.
We're wasting no time. Wait, before we get there, Matt Arnold here to my left, Jon Karmen, DJ Scratch himself, and Benji, podcast mixmaster producer over in the corner.
We're supposed to talk about horror movies.
Yeah, it was October, everybody. We wanted to talk about horror movies. Just real quick, we wanted to talk
Speaking
about
of freak shows and horror movies.
God, what?
Jon Karmen's performance in...
Oh, God. Okay, we'll get to that.
Poor
I just got...
I'm just going to keep sending
I talked to
it
a
over.
kid. I literally had someone ask me, "Are you DJ Scratch?"
No.
Yeah.
Where?
All right.
What context?
That's fantastic.
Okay.
I mean, it's not like
John had a sign that said DJ Scratch.
what were you on
available
Hollywood Boulevard?
no. I
for
was coming
And they're like,
home.
"Wait, are you?"
I was coming home from Comic-Con, and
Which, by the way, we were all just at New York Comic-Con, which was a blast.
this was actually this was a year. This was
Thank
not
you
This recent
to
one
everyone
was
who came
the
out.
one before it.
Okay, so this story is officially 1 year old. Go ahead.
Yeah. And I was sitting next to some guy on the train, and we got to talking. I said I was from Rocket Jump or whatever, and I said, "Oh, it's like, what's your name?" I said Jon Karmen. He was like texting his friend who was like a big Rocket Jump fan or whatever. And then he gets texting back like, "Are you DJ Scratch?"
Dude.
So he could have just like Googled my name, like Jon Karmen Rocket Jump.
way.
And
Wait,
If you
DJ
Google
Scratch
Jon
Scratch.
Karmen, do you find DJ Scratch?
I'm sure if you looked hard enough. I haven't looked.
Actually, it's on his
I don't Google
Wikipedia
myself.
page. It's on his Wikipedia page under
John, do you have a
aliases.
Wikipedia page?
Dude, someone should set that shit up.
Yeah, I don't have one. We should get you one first. And I wanted... Actually, can we just get a DJ Scratch?
Well,
Yeah, it should be honestly the bigger. It usually you go with the bigger entity. In this case,
Yeah.
DJ Scratch is the more well known.
Yeah.
And then underneath it in the thing, it's in parenthetical also known.
Yeah,
as.
it's not a Bruce
Yeah.
Wayne Wikipedia.
Well,
It's a Batman Wikipedia.
what could work is Senzaki
Exactly.
just started the personal T-shirt trend here in the office. So when you make your own personal Karmen T-shirt, it should be a DJ Scratch.
yeah.
Yeah,
Do you have
sure.
DJ Scratch merchandise?
It's like he actually. I saw it actually. It was
Better not, because that's not on the Rocket
seen
Jump
the-
store, and we want a piece of that.
Yeah, we get a piece of that. That sweet merch,
That
John.
could fund this whole
You're
company.
just doing the Bruce Lee at the
Yeah.
turntables, but you've just sort of crappily photoshopped your face on top of Bruce Lee, which is in and of itself already a Photoshop. So good work.
Oh, that's not real?
You're kidding, right?
I mean, I don't know. I thought like turntables existed back then, right? Maybe.
Wait,
Yeah.
Maybe he was just like
Wait.
high on cocaine and just
Sorry.
like wanted to like.
Did you just say
wait.
Bruce Lee was high on cocaine?
Bruce
And
Maybe.
Lee.
Yeah,
and
he
was a
looked-
DJ?
And it was a DJ.
No, maybe he was
You
just like.
thought
it was
Bruce
a
Lee was a
photo.
DJ.
I didn't say he was a DJ.
A
I was saying maybe
coked-up
it was
DJ?
a photo of him just like hanging out in
Why
front of
high
a
on cocaine,
turntable.
though?
Where did the cocaine?
Do
I
we
was
have to
the 80s,
apologize to
man.
the Lee dynasty right now?
It was the 80s, you know. Anything
That's
was
true.
possible.
Everybody was.
Come
right?
on.
Is
Yeah,
that,
it's
is that
pretty
it?
given.
Wait, you looked at that shirt and you thought that this was a real thing.
I didn't.
Just to be clear, the shirt where it appears to show Bruce Lee DJing, you
Yeah.
thought that was like a real
To be fair,
photo.
in order to have the Zen state of martial arts and training and the fit body and mind that he has, cocaine is usually associated with.
That is,
such
in fact,
you
yeah,
go.
cocaine. In Chinese, actually,
individuals.
it translates to the spiritual essence, all the
Yeah.
great.
No, I hear they live longer there because of green tea and cocaine.
Yeah, exactly.
Those are
yeah,
the
yeah.
two things
Those
they
two
have.
things together.
Man, that'd be wild.
Yeah.
I feel it's just the cocaine that's wild.
I'm just imagining, like those PBS stories on like all those old ladies, like the centurions that hang out together, and they're all just drinking their tea and hitting
Just
their
doing
lines,
a line,
just
doing
to
a
keep
line
it
off
going.
each other's chests.
So I guess we
Bug.
can talk about horror films. We don't need to talk about Destiny and our raid.
But we should. So
Well, I mean, you can start it with that. We'll
Well,
use the
let's back
commercial
up.
break to
Let's
get
back
into the
up. Let's
horror
back
thing.
up,
So what's the deal?
This is what's happened. Okay, Matt Arnold is a Destiny hardcore bro.
Matt
You're there year
loves
one.
Destiny.
Hardcore, bro.
You pre-ordered it. You
I
got
like
the
Destiny.
stuffed. You got the plush ghost that came with
I
all
did not.
pre-orders.
I like Destiny. I played a lot.
He has a little mini Dinklage back when Peter Dinklage was the voice of the ghost.
I played
You
a-
squeeze it and it says lines from the game.
It says all the
Oh.
great lines like
You bought it early on,
Huh?
and you were like, "Hey, I actually distinctly
Yeah.
remember when you bought it. You said, everybody get on this.
We've
I'd
woken
love
the
to
high.
play."
I thought you were insulting him for a second when you said he had a mini dinklage. I was like, that was out of left field. Leave him alone. He likes
I like
Destiny.
as
I
a
like
tiny
Destiny.
penis,
He has a very
but
small
it's okay,
penis.
which is fine. There's no problem with that.
When you first got it, you said to everybody, "Hey, get on this." And Jimmy got on. I got on.
you guys played for, like, no
and we played
time,
for like
except
an
for
hour.
Eli.
Eli played with you for a little bit. but
Homie
that's
Eli
it.
played, and we played. He left before the first expansion. I played a little bit of the first expansion, then I more or less left Destiny. I would occasionally come on, but like the first 4 months, I played a lot of Destiny.
And I
got to
remember-
level 30. I did all the raids.
And I remember you being, like, it was always a mix of you being incredibly frustrated at the game, and also being like, "This is the best game ever."
Oh, it's a love-hate relationship. Like I love the game, but like I've never felt a game like. It feels like Bungie wants you to hate the game every time you play it. And like year one was just like them
like they're
leaving you
daring
alone. It was like every expansion just reset everything without telling you. There's just like nothing to do in it, but the game feels so damn good. It's the best shooting mechanics I've ever played, and like so much about it should be cool. And I was so excited for Taken King.
And then so Taken
I've
King's
convinced
and you
many people.
basically told everybody to get on this
Yeah.
now. I got on this.
I think we have like 9 people.
Almost half the
It's you,
office.
You,
Yeah.
Anthony Birch, Ashley Birch, John, Eli is back, Daniel, CTO is on,
Danny
Danny
is on.
Just got it. I'm trying to convince Clint, and Darnell says he won't, but he also says I have the silver tongue, and if he worked here, he would be on it. So I just need more time with Darnell.
So I mean,
And then I'll
but the
get him
point is,
on.
everybody's on it, and everybody's playing it like constantly. It is
Yeah.
Taken King fixed a lot of the problems, and from even what I remember, it's fun. There's a lot of stuff to do. It's one of the only times I've ever been social on the game.
I've shown up at like 7 a.m. and like seen like Eli and Anthony on. I'm like, that's right. That's right. I see John on all the time. I remember I played like 5 hours straight, and then I had to go somewhere. And then I came back at like 10 o'clock at night, and Freddie and John were still playing. And I was like, that's what I'm talking
And here's the question: so John is the subject of a lot
John's
of
so
debate.
quiet. John just does not want to
But
talk
let me
about
ask you this, John: how did you get into it? Was it Matt convincing you, or what was it specifically?
Yeah, well, I played. I had an Xbox.
You got a year
I had
one.
an Xbox One, which eventually traded for a PS4 because Xbox
Good move,
One's
bro.
terrible,
Whoa, good move.
terrible.
Good
Oh
move.
shit!
But
Flame war starting.
yeah,
man.
but I
really
played. I
quick
played a little
either.
bit back then, and it was like fun. But it was just
you-
like it just felt like this dead end I
Yeah.
was playing.
Do you
know?
think kids right now are still fighting the Xbox PS4 debate?
Absolutely.
Like
They are.
still?
You don't go on game sites.
Yeah, it has to.
Even I feel like
I
the
feel like that's
Xbox One
eternal.
kids are just getting beat into the ground.
Nope.
Like what can they say?
I don't know.
There's nothing they can say. Anyway, sorry. So John.
So
John
I
is
played it for a little bit, and I was like, "Oh, this is cool." Like the base, like Matt said,
Yeah.
the base shooting mechanics was fun. But I was on Xbox, so I had no one to play it with
Yeah.
because everyone else in the office was PS4s. And B, so it's the game is just not fun at all if you have no one to play it with, and it's
Yeah.
too hard too. It's pretty much impossible. Like you can't do raids. Like you can't
Yeah.
do raids without having like a microphone to coordinate and stuff
Yeah.
like that. So I just like ditched it, traded it back in for something else, and then Matt was telling me about how they're bringing. There's a year or two. They're
bringing it back.
and how I wouldn't have to. They're immediately boosting everyone's level up.
Yeah,
if
you
you
wouldn't have
haven't
to go back and
played.
play the crappy
So I
year
wouldn't
one
have to.
stuff.
I wouldn't have to like grind and do all the stuff to get to Matt's level. So
I promised him I would play with him.
Yeah.
It's like, if you get on, you won't be alone.
Matt was a real car salesman about this.
Yeah.
He was like, if you hey, listen, you get there, I'll throw in free gaming sessions.
Well,
with
what
you.
was
Yeah.
the result? Is I got to do a raid 2 nights ago with 5 people I know in real life, rather than me and Eli and like 4 randos, or me most of the time by myself with
And
5
5
people.
randos.
Yeah, this was the dream come true.
Now,
Slash
John
nightmare.
has a certain play style, and that play style I would describe as aggressively relaxed. Like the way you approach the game. And
I
listen,
like you.
all power
I
to
like you explaining it as he's playing 5 minutes or 10 minutes in the future, like in
the past.
So
Like it's as if John is on. It's as if John is on like a video chat delay, and everything that happens in your
Yeah.
world is 5 minutes in the past.
Yeah.
And over
No,
again.
how would you
I was just
describe-
like,
how would
hold
you
on,
describe your playstyle, John?
before I describe my playstyle, why don't we set up who I'm playing with for the listener? Okay, I am the 2 people to my right. One is one of the best video game players of all time, at least with the Guitar Hero. So someone is just natural. You are literally born talented with video games.
That's very
the
flattering,
other
John, but
no, it's
irrelevant.
undisputed. It's not a compliment. It's you literally have an award.
I'm taking it
Say-
as a compliment.
Okay.
And the other one.
And
is
the other
even
one
better.
is a the other one is a hardcore Destiny guy who played it nonstop for the first year when no one else was
Yeah.
into it. So now I'm just kind of like
Sounds like 2 fun guys.
I'm learning the ropes.
Sounds like 2 real,
Who
just
are-
like
who
2
are those cool
captains of
dudes?
industry.
Yeah. No,
Sounds like you'd be lucky
no,
to be
I
able
know,
to
no,
play.
Those guys sound cool enough to work
You're
for.
framing
Ben,
this
do
as
you want to
like,
play with us now?
Yeah. I'm not like outside of like Smash Brothers and the occasional Call of Duty round. I'm not a huge multiplayer guy. Never played an MMO before.
Yeah.
Teamwork stuff with like I literally bought my first ever gaming headset to like play Destiny. Like
Yeah.
I'm walking into it's a casual gamer walking into a hardcore gamer's
Yeah.
world right now. So please continue.
No,
From there.
explain your playstyle.
Oh, my playstyle.
yeah, if you were to sum it up.
You know what? I want you to do a post-mortem on your own raid.
Okay, let's
performance.
keep in mind, I may not have the mad skills or the teamwork coordination stuff.
Yeah.
No, you certainly
You know,
Which
but,
is no problem, by the way.
But I
Completely
did.
understand your new
I
status.
did enough grinding and I played enough hours to get some sweet ass essential gear, especially this this gun, which does crazy damage
Yeah.
that no one else bothered to get.
I have it.
Besides, yeah, Matt, and I, yeah,
have
just
it.
one other person. So without and I believe the quote of one of our teammates was. Jon Karmen is off the charts in terms of doing damage with the main boss that we were fighting. So
And he's
just gonna
off, and he's
Sounds
off
like
the
you're doing
chart.
pretty well, John.
no, but there
There's a
we would.
disconnect here.
I'm trying,
This is
but
real quick, this is Rashomon. Like, it's like us going back.
no, I'll be the first to admit that I'm a human being. I make mistakes.
That's very big of you.
But playing with one of the greatest gamers in the world and a hardcore Destiny fan, trying your best may not be good enough.
We also had
And
Anthony, who also new Destiny player.
game designer,
Writer.
lead game designer, lead game designer on a very similar game,
He was not
Borderlands.
No, he's not. He's a writer.
Or
That's
sure,
a
but whatever.
completely different job.
It,
You're
it
a
still
writer, aren't you,
involves. It still involves some video game play. Let's not beat around.
Video games.
I'm
Something
sure
that
yeah.
involves video
His
games.
part of his job. He
you're
worked in
super good
video
at
games.
Smash Brothers.
Thank you. That's amazing. Coming from you, Matt,
You're very
the
good
best
at
Smash
John.
player I know.
You're probably better at Smash than me now because I don't play.
I
anymore.
doubt that. No, because like every time you just pick it up, you beat me no matter how much I'm playing. No, you're the best.
I
So,
feel bad for bullying John. He's saying such nice things, but
Yeah.
John,
That's
it's
the
not,
dynamic.
It's not about.
though.
It's not.
we gotta get
Here's
make,
what's-
we
here's-
gotta
let
make
me-
good
it's not
radio
about-
for the
it's not
people.
about your
For the
teamwork.
people to pull you
watching-
away.
The people watching, the people listening home. Let me just give context, okay? Because here's what would happen on the raid is the raid is it's like a puzzle, like 6 people puzzle with guns. You're trying to figure out what to do, and we'd be throwing stuff around. We throwing out theories and observations.
5
and
people talking.
Five
John,
people.
Very quiet.
John very quiet. But people would say something, and someone would counter that with their own experience, and that would adjust. It was a very interesting group dynamic. We went into this raid blind. We didn't know what to do, and we would be like, okay. Break. We discussed. This is what we're going to try this
We have
round.
2 groups of 3, and we've been using these 2 groups of 3 for 20 minutes now. Break. And then we'd all move, and then all of a sudden there'd be a group of 2, and then Jon Karmen's now the 4th person on the other side. We're like, John, get over here. Like, wait, what are we doing? And we're like, we've been doing this for 20 minutes. And the thing is, like, it wasn't like the first time. It's like we were on that moment for like 30 minutes before.
Well,
that.
my favorite thing was then Anthony came over. I was like, wait, Anthony, what are you doing here? Aren't you on the other team? He's like, and he told on the chat, he's like, well, I'm on this side now because Jon Karmen decided to switch teams for some reason.
Yeah.
The more we
Playing
talk
with
about-
5 brainiacs, okay? I'm just demo John, casual gamer John, playing with
I bet it's tough. I see the way Matt handles some of his partners.
Well, we
Rocket
used to-
League, so I can't imagine what it's like.
Well,
in
we
this
used
game.
to-
throwing people under the bus. Has that happened
man.
before?
Oh yes.
Oh, really?
He is the bus driver
Yeah.
Now we've done
drive that
over a
bus.
pile of bodies.
I think we found a new nickname.
So
for
we've been
Matt.
playing- we've been
Matt
playing a
bus
lot of,
driver Arnold.
So during the week,
Hey, if I'm
well,
driving the bus, I'm not throwing people under it.
you're driving
driving
over
over
people.
them.
hands are full
Driving
with the
over them.
wheel.
So we've been playing some games.
I'll take the bus driver as my nickname.
We've been playing some games recently on Twitch. We had twitch.tv/rocketjump. So you can kind of see where, kind of how we are. We want to stream Destiny just because the dynamic, honestly, speaking as the non, of the duo, the dynamic between Matt and Jon Karmen is like one of the funniest.
I can imagine.
Funniest
I bet
things
it's
I've
incredible.
ever seen because it's so knocked down.
I'll just put it this way:
like,
Anthony
drag
is
out.
one of the nicest people I know. And when me and Freddie played just a 3-person thing with John, and we were giving John such a hard time the next day, Anthony was like, "Man, you guys are being really mean to John." I was like, "It's okay. John knows we love him, I think." And then after the raid, Anthony was like, "I get it."
But to be fair,
I didn't know that. I got a bone to pick with Anthony now.
we were
Speaking
hard,
of bus
loves-
throwing,
he loves you.
sure he
Right?
said that
Yeah.
in confidence.
No,
we were-
he was
Didn't know it would
like,
be aired
no
in front of the
confidence at
entire
all.
internet.
No,
We were,
because he wants to play with you, John. But what we don't want is 4 hours of our time wasted.
We didn't, dude. You said that we made good for the first night we played it for beating that first huge boss. I think we did okay.
I think I'm doing a
Just
poor
because
job of
every
inspiring
moment
John.
didn't go so perfectly according to your little schematics doesn't mean.
I guess the difference is we're not expecting Swiss clockwork. Here's why. Okay, when I
Clearly
the
you
lack
are.
of apology.
this is it is. It's the lack of apology, Benji. Just to give you context, like I screw up a couple
I'm
times.
not gonna apologize for playing a fucking video game with you.
So
guys.
Benji, I screwed up.
You guys, you owe us an apology because you take it so much seriously tonight. This is getting to the crux of the
I
problem.
shot a gun, and it wiped everybody's like,
Yeah.
"Oh shit, sorry, I didn't know shooting a gun.
Here's the
I didn't
thing.
know shooting a gun did that. I apologize. I won't do that again." 2 times later, John shoots a gun. We're like, "Who shot that gun?" We all wiped, and you just hear, John.
It's the
No
chuckle.
apology. No, like, sorry guys, I accidentally. John's like, "Whatever, it slipped. I was just having fun." It's like, why is that?
Well, no, that was wait, John. I want to just
It did
drill
slip.
in. Wait, can I drill in really quick?
But you didn't say
Wait, stop. I want to drill in really quick because you shot the gun, which activated a bunch of people moving, which wiped our team. John, your excuse was your finger slipped, and you pulled the trigger accidentally.
Yeah,
How
those-
are you holding your controller?
How long you guys playing for?
Those-
what?
Yeah, countless hours at a time per raid. The raids last 7 hours if you're the best in the world.
For the
Okay.
first time, we played for about 4.5 hours straight. I gotta say, I mean, putting it in perspective, I understand that we're very intense.
We are very intense.
You got you
4.5
guys
hours
work
is a
all
long amount of time
Yeah.
to play anything.
you guys work all day
Yeah.
at the office. Then you
Work
go
hard.
home and you work. You're
Play
like you
hard.
treat Destiny as work, whereas me, I'm
No.
like,
Play
I'm gonna
hard.
log on, play with my
Play hard.
Yeah.
I mean, here's
Work
what
hard,
happened.
play
Actually,
hard.
I mean, like, here's the thing, though. This is we have a history of this. We have a history of this. 'cause
You
when
play
we were
harder
playing-
than you work.
When we were playing Left 4
that's
Dead.
it's very true.
When we
Yeah,
were
like I
playing Left
said,
4
like
Dead,
hold on,
You
like I
haven't seen us
said,
work.
Matt, you got more angry at me than anything screw up I did, like on a
On
job,
set, yeah.
on his job or whatever, where like the stakes were actually real.
Yeah.
When the stakes are video game stakes.
That's true, actually. I've actually
Yeah.
never seen that angry at anybody at work,
That's
but
because
I have seen that angry on video games.
Yeah.
That's because I need you to keep doing your job, and I want to inspire you at the office. I don't want you to waste my time on the raid. Like I accept I have to,
Imagine how
foster
much-
creativity
imagine
here, but
how
on
much
the
more
raid, I want your
successful-
shit in the game, John.
Imagine how much more successful a business we would have if we flipped that.
Do you want us to flip that
We
here?
could.
We could flip it, John.
Here's what
Hey, let's do
happens.
this. Benji's like,
Benji's nodding his head like,
Here's
how
what
about
we
we become hard at work and we play soft?
look,
Yo, work hard, play soft.
Yeah.
That's the new slogan.
When we start running this place like tyrants, we'll be like, "Yo, Jon Karmen said
Yeah.
we're too soft at work. We're too hard on the
Well,
game."
here's what we used to do is when we played Left 4 Dead.
No,
was-
it is our fault because
Oh, it's absolutely our fault. We used
Yeah,
when we
we're
used,
sorry,
we used to
John.
play
We're
Left 4
bad.
Dead. John, sorry. It's a formal apology so that every.
Say we
I'm
made-
still gonna
made-
apologize to you guys.
I know you won't.
No, you're not. You're just gonna
You're
chuckle.
never gonna change.
But we used to play Left 4 Dead. It would be Matt, myself, your friend Badgley.
And all three of us are super intense.
We were intense.
We never kept a fourth person for more than a night.
Yeah, we would
Because they
play.
wouldn't wanna play
It's a team of 4. The next night we'd be like, "Hey, you want to get on Left 4 Dead?" And they would like be like, "Oh no, it's okay." Oh
Okay.
yeah,
We
what?
don't like
You got
getting
some time?
screamed at for 2
Like,
hours.
you get,
straight.
Yeah, to play
There's
with.
like you guys are just a little intense. I've heard that one. You guys are just a little too intense.
Huh.
Listen,
Sounds like
man,
some
you
people
want to
can't
ride
keep
with
up,
the
is what
you
that
want to
sounds
ride
like.
with the big dogs. Well, that was funny because Anthony
like the
related
kind of
a
team
story.
I wanna
so
be a part
Anthony
of.
related
I think
this.
Benji would thrive. Benji would give as good as he takes, and he would
That's
thrive.
what you gotta do.
Sounds like
and
my
also,
kind of
by the way-
mindset there.
And also,
Yo, you
by
got
the way,
PS4, Benji?
No.
so also real quick,
Going
real
at
quick,
the
real
office
quick.
here though. I could play.
Anthony
We're
related
getting Destiny
to us
in
a
here.
story where the circumstances of which he uninstalled Left 4 Dead 2, and
Yeah.
you know, I bring this up not to take away his story from him, which is a great story, but just to illustrate our mindset, which was he was playing and he basically was telling his team like, don't do this one thing. If you got just don't do
It was
this
his birthday
one
where
thing.
they were
It was
throwing
his
a birthday party
They
for him.
threw a party for him. They were gonna play Left 4 Dead 2, and he was like, the team, don't do this one thing, and then the team then proceeded to do that one thing and then wipe the team. And he got so angry.
He yelled at his friends.
He
on
yelled
his
at. He's
birthday.
like, I realized that I yelled at my friends on my birthday, so I uninstalled Left 4 Dead 2, and I haven't played it since. And we heard this story, and Matt and my response both were like,
But you told them.
"But you
to
did
not
tell them
do
the
that
one thing. That's their fault, and it was your birthday, so they didn't listen to you on your birthday. That's
Jake
your
was
friend's
like,
fault.
Yeah, Jake was like, your friends ruined your birthday. That was our response.
That's what that is. That's from my perspective. That's you told them what not to do, and they did that one thing,
I
which
think
just
this is
willfully
why-
disrespected you.
Benji, is this why nobody wants to watch our Twitch? Because nobody wants to play with us. Because we're clearly.
Maybe because we're mean. Because we
think we're
did
mean.
viewer games and we started letting people play with us. And I know I'm not polite to the
Yeah.
people I play with. I run my
I think
got
that just comes from
diarrhea
being
of the mouth.
because you played
sometimes.
sports. It's that
Yeah.
competitive.
I
It
mean,
means nothing.
I mean,
it's part
winning,
of the competitive nature.
winning
of it.
is fun, but winning with sportsmanship is not nearly as fun as winning without it.
Benji gets it.
Like, honest to God,
Can we
go,
get that
go,
on a shirt?
go compete
Can
with
that be-
someone
wait,
in
really quick.
anything.
Can-
Do it. Play that game and win, just being nice the whole time, not doing anything, and then do it again, and then just be an asshole the whole time, and see how much more fun that is. I'm
needs to
telling
be-
you.
that
It's how
is-
you unleash your right rage and your anger.
That needs to be our banner on Twitch.
Right?
It's just
Like-
Rocket Jump. Winning with sportsmanship is not nearly as fun as winning without.
It's like it's just so. If every sport
No,
had
I got
sportsmanship,
here's what it is.
the numbers
it
would
elevates,
be crap.
It elevates it.
Right?
The moment you score one goal in Rocket League and the first thing you do is type GG,
Dude,
you're
I got that from
throwing
you
down
guys,
the
man.
stakes.
Yeah, you throw down the
I
You're
do
throwing
that.
down the stakes.
You burn
because
the
here's what
boat,
happens.
yeah.
Because there's only two ways that goes. Because it actually helps both people. Think about this.
Mm-hmm.
If they can beat you, because they're going to get that, and they feel that challenge. If the other team beats you, how
They
good
feel
do
so
they
much better
feel?
about it.
How great do they
feel
feel
great.
for what you've done for them? And if you win, how much worse is it? Right?
Yeah.
This is we operate in extremes. There's no such thing as right down the middle of the road when it comes to video games. It's either the highest highs of victory or the lowest lows of defeat.
Yeah.
And absolute
And it humbles you when you type in GG after
Yeah.
that first goal.
There's
and
only
you
one
lose,
way.
You're like,
Yeah.
yep, I deserved that.
You feel it.
I messed it up.
There's only one way out of that forest once you're that deep. You just keep going forward.
Exactly.
You can't turn around. There's no lifeboat. You got to just
need,
go for it.
And when
Yeah,
we used
I'm
to,
with
when,
it.
I was on a Minecraft server, and it was a server that allowed you to basically grief people. It was griefing was okay, and we would do that. My team and I would grief people. We would find their bases. We would take gravel, replace all the stuff in their chest, and fill up all their rooms with gravel because it was really annoying to do it. And we called ourselves the Gravel Police. And people got on the subreddit and were like, "This is bullshit. You guys suck." And they did the whole thing like, "These guys suck. We gotta get them banned from the server." And I just responded back. I was like, "Wrong. You love us.
Yeah.
Our existence makes your life dangerous and exciting. And secretly, you need people like
You realize
us."
that it's literally the supervillain's speech in
I mean,
Unbreakable.
honestly.
like you're like,
Okay.
I don't know if I can follow Freddie down.
I think at this point, hearing you guys talk, and the viewers are firmly on my side.
John is
I
clearly.
told you, John was like, if you guys,
I was
talk about me,
sitting with
everyone's gonna
video
hate me.
game supervillains right here.
This week's episode is brought to you by everyone's favorite subscription box service. I'm talking, of course, about our friends over at Loot Crate. Every month, Loot Crate will ship out a box of at least $40 worth of geek, gamer, pop culture gear, collectibles, apparel, comics, all delivered right to your door. And if you head on over to lootcrate.com/Facerocker, enter the promo code Facerocker, you get $3 off of any new subscription. Every month they do a different theme. They've done stuff for Walking Dead, Legend of Zelda, Star Wars. This month's theme, by the way, is time. Because, Back to the Future's 30th anniversary, right? That's right. Back to the Future. They're going to do a little bit of Bill and Ted. And what's the other show? about time that's on the BBC. Doctor something, Doctor whatever. Just it's escaping my mind. Anyway, head on over to Loot Crate. And if you're not in the US, don't worry. They ship to over 13 different countries. You have until the 19th at 9 p.m. Pacific to subscribe and receive this month's Loot Crate. And the cutoff happens right after that. So if you want to get in on that Doctor Who action, it's time to get going over there. You only have a few days left. So lootcrate.com/Facerocker. Enter the code Facerocker and save yourself $3 on your new subscription.
Like John sounds like the absolute like worst person to play in a game because he's just there trying to have fun.
Yeah.
Like you don't care. You don't care if you win or lose. So then when
Literally,
You can't say it's just a game to these guys.
I
You
have
can't say
more
that.
fun knowing that you're upset than just winning. Like if I win and you don't care, that doesn't feel the same as winning. And
absolutely.
You care. Like I would rather just lose.
Here's the
But
thing:
John,
if everything
it's
went
just-
perfectly that night, you'd have nothing to talk about in this podcast.
Oh, we would have talked about
This
how
is
great
true.
we did. But John, it is just
John,
really turned that one around
When
on
everything
it.
went perfectly in Roman society, they didn't just hang out. They threw a triumph.
We would be talking about horror. We would have been talking about horror movies, which is what the audience wanted. So now you've wasted the audience's time too. Not only did you waste our time on the raid, you wasted the audience time. Remember when you said you're like, "Hey, don't talk about the raid stuff anywhere because if we do," I was like, "Let's stream this," and you're like, "No, everybody's gonna hate me." What did I say?
I wasn't genuine. I was like,
I said,
hey,
John,
everyone will
I
hate
said,
me.
John,
I was
the
like,
audience is gonna
no,
hate
you're
you. They're
literally
gonna love
your
you 'cause
impression
you're
of me.
sympathetic.
Your impression of me is no, everyone's gonna hate me. Like that's like dude. I'm just like yeah, whatever. Like I don't give a shit.
Jon
Like,
Karmen, renegade rogue video game.
Stream me if you want. I don't care.
dude.
Yeah,
Yeah,
way to
It's
have
just
a
like,
way
I was
to
like,
have a good attitude, John. You asshole.
John,
John,
can I
yeah.
come over?
Way to be a good person.
John, honestly though, can I come
No, but-
over and set up? Can I come? Wait, I can do it from my.
I would
place.
love to play in the same room as John. But here's the thing: it is just a game to us. That's why we can be that intense. Because it doesn't
Exactly.
matter.
Yeah.
Like that's really the ultimate thing. It's like it is just a game. So we can put all this intensity in the magic circle of the game world. And the moment we step out of that game, I don't care if Freddie screamed at me, called me a piece of shit on the planet, and get my shit together because it's just a game.
It's just a game.
no, I don't
It was
care either.
meaningless.
You clearly thrive off of that
care in the
intensity,
game.
and then it gives
Inside
you
that
gives you
inside-
stories.
No
when
one-
you
gives you
enter the
stories,
cave, when you
fun
enter
stories
the
to tell.
octagon, John, when you
Become
when
legend,
you step
John.
foot-
That's a lifestyle.
Destiny TM.
Well, is that
Brought
the?
I think
Become
I think
Yeah,
the thing
that's
is
their
become
that's their
legend.
slogan. Become legend.
I'm gonna start using that to inspire you during the raid. Be like, John,
Become
pay
legend.
attention.
You're just gonna be like, oh, John's gonna be playing back. Oh, I got a notification. I got a text message from Matt. Hold on, let me just and then just underneath just all lowercase. Become legend.
John, are you playing with us tonight?
Of course. I mean,
That was
Poor
it.
John. You guys were
All good, right?
You guys were
all fun.
leaning on John earlier to make sure he'd be playing tonight. Poor guy was worried in the cubicle. He's like, man, I share a TV with my roommate, and now I'm supposed to play a 10-hour game, steal the TV from him. Everybody's like, you playing? Poor John's just trying
Wait,
to be
John,
a good
Yeah,
You have
I'm like, I'm not sure if Jake's
John,
gonna.
I
Like,
just wanna
yeah,
make that-
right.
I just wanna
And then they
make
run
that-
off and they
Yeah.
like corner Jake, and they're like, they come back and like, we
yeah,
talk to Jake.
Like I
It's all
seen
good.
Eli bring Jake out to like have a discussion. With,
Oh, did they-
with
I was about to say,
John.
I'll go
Like,
talk
poor
to Jake, but
John,
they already
like,
did it.
I get it, man. Like, poor
I was gonna say I'll go talk to Jake, but did y'all?
It's already been taken care of. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
do. I feel
I feel like I'm gonna go up to
feel a
Jake,
little
I'm
bit
gonna-
bad for John.
Plans have been changed.
I'm gonna go up to Jake. I'm gonna give him $20. Be like, yo, go see a movie or something.
Hey, Jake.
No, wait, I hope he has a breast pocket to like you can stuff it
Hey,
in.
kid, go
Hey,
see
kid,
The
yeah.
Martian.
Yo, go see a movie. John,
is the-
John's
Go,
gonna be
go get
busy.
yourself a soda.
Hey,
Pop.
your TV tonight,
hey,
Jake.
kid. Hey, go see a movie tonight. Go take care of yourself. It's just John. It's just Jake, just out in
Yeah.
the mean streets.
Find
of
a nice
LA.
lady and take her out. You know.
Just Jake in the mean streets
her
of LA. It's like because mom's back at home with the new boyfriend.
Is that really
Destiny.
is that becoming a big problem between you and Jake? The constant Destiny playing.
No, it's more just like that sinking feeling of like hearing him walking. He's about to walk through the front door.
Yeah.
John,
and
don't
like,
you have
and
a
I'm still, and like I've been sitting in the same spot as when he left.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's a
and you're like,
beautiful
oh, he's gonna see me
he's gonna
here.
see. I'm just so. I feel like
Yeah.
such a pathetic. Like I'm just like we are. Well, that's here's the thing. Let's talk about some real stuff. How do you kind of like feel about you're ambitious and you're starting this company and you want to
Yeah.
make all this amazing stuff, yet a good third of your week at least is being spent playing a game which is outside of the fun you have of
Yeah.
playing it is doing nothing for your life. And
No,
is
but
not-
here's the
I feel
that's where
great
you're wrong.
about
I know,
it.
real quick, that's where you're wrong because when you're saying it does nothing for your life, you're absolutely incorrect. Here's what it does: it allows you to do the rest of it Because if it was all just ambition and limitless potential and just constantly working at that, you burn yourself out. You need to have.
You want to talk about real stuff, John? You want to talk about real stuff?
Some people they like, hey, you know what? Been working hard this week. I'm gonna go see a movie. You know what I mean?
I'm not
not
seeing
like,
movies right now.
hey, I did a little bit of work today. Now I'm gonna play 6 hours of Destiny tonight.
So look, are we going to be playing 6? Are we going to be playing 6 hours of Destiny a month from now every day? No, part of it's like that new. It's that new game.
Yeah, you
smell.
guys are
It's all that
rolling.
craziness. It will
a
die down.
honeymoon
I'll
phase,
start
man.
playing, maybe an hour or so a day, and then occasionally on raid nights you play a bunch. Also, raids will start going faster.
Yeah.
As Freddie was saying, part of that is, like you said, right? We crazy workspace, long hours, lots of stuff. Sometimes the way you gotta come down from that is a game. Now, sometimes you want to just relax. And
But
do
this
a
is
movie.
more than a game. This is a commitment. This is a MMO. This is a world. This is like think about like the horror stories like World of Warcraft. This is
Yeah,
like
but we're not
starting
gonna-
to
but we're not doing
approach.
that. I don't have Destiny plugged into our edit room and playing Destiny all
Although
day.
you did joke about doing that. So.
Yeah, we could.
We would do that.
I mean, we could.
I mean,
we probably will.
I mean, we
Once
won't.
the
We shouldn't
construction's
do
done.
that, but we would do that.
Yeah.
But
This is I think by far at this point the most hours I've ever put into
But
a
here's
game.
the thing,
in my
though.
life.
Does
But
Eli
this is
lead
no
the
different.
raids? Who leads the? Because Eli's a
Oh, it's-
military man. Is
oh,
he acting?
it's
as
all.
Like,
It's all.
Is it everyone acting like?
I mean,
how
it's
does it-
it's for the most part, it's like everyone's like equal part, but it's like these guys kind of like to take the reins.
Well, here's what happened.
you don't say that shyly. It's like, yeah, we take leadership of the
we
raid. I got no
lead.
problem being a leader, John.
You know what we do? You know what we do?
Whoever
and also,
speaks
and
the
also
loudest,
it's-
you know what I'm
it's-
saying?
it's-
That's
and
all
here's
I'm
the
saying.
thing.
and Eli and Daniel and
know?
Anthony don't got no problem.
Yeah,
'Cause
because
here's
you
the thing,
guys
too.
can just like
It's a loose-
chat.
it's a
They
loose
can just
structure.
sit back and be like, "Oh, what's the plan?" That's why I'm silent because I'm like, okay, like
You're the
these guys.
only one who wasn't. Everybody else felt free to communicate and express themselves that entire time.
Yeah, but I know my place in the natural order of things. I'm not like the most quick-witted, I guess. So
We're
I'm
not,
just
we're,
like,
not, we're not riffing and cracking jokes. We're not pitching sketches over there, John.
wits
We're
are
discussing
your wits are more than just jokes, my friend.
Really
They're
quick,
also
just to make sure, when
determining
you refer
puzzles.
to wits and puzzles, you're referring to what can be communicated in a first-person shooter, which is probably 8th grade.
Sometimes we're just
level
like, John,
logic.
sometimes we're like, John, what happened to you? What happened when this happened to you? Like, did you have an icon over your head? And you're just like, guys, should I be on this bun? We're like, John, that was the last room. That's so long ago. What are you talking about?
Yeah. I'm just like sometimes I'm getting up from the couch. I'm like answering text messages or what. I'm like trying to like be a human being while also being immersed in this world.
Okay, so that explains it.
It's a split attention.
There's the problem, John.
Finally,
You're trying
we
to
get
be
an
a human.
answer.
That's all I need to know. I had headphones on, dark room, 100% focus on the screen.
Yeah,
that's
Do you know
true.
why? Because I got 5 people I care about, including you, John, that I don't want to waste their time. I want them to win. I want them to defeat that raid. I'm not saying they're
Is it
texting.
about them or is it about you?
We need to
I
make
mean,
one of those
it's
like
definitely 90% about me, but like a good 10%.
As long as
It's
we're
about,
solid
a good
10.
10% is about
As long as we're
about
being
the team.
honest.
Full 10%.
About the team.
Oh,
we need to
absolutely.
get one. We need to make one of those like office motivational posters that just says like focus or leadership, and it's just you in the dark room. Like
Okay.
That would be great.
That would be
Wait,
sick.
leadership is just Matt screaming
it's just
into a
it's just
headset
Matt
mic.
screaming at like someone like from the Twitch
How different
stream
have
or
you found?
something.
Because it's funny they think that because like right, how different you've pointed out this difference of how I will act with you, say on.
That's a good
on
thing, though.
set
That's
as
obviously a
opposed to in
good
game,
thing
right?
that you have that. That's
Exactly.
obviously a really
I
good
need-
thing
see,
that you
John,
can do
I
that.
need that destiny.
Yeah,
I need that
that's
destiny
what you let it
to
out.
unleash.
That Destiny's
Otherwise,
that Destiny's a steam valve.
John, I'll tell you what,
John.
you're not always an easy customer here at work either. And
Yeah.
So
Okay.
I
it's
need a
like
place. I need a-
You're purging all.
I need a place to
okay.
purge it. You know what I mean?
Okay.
I need to stay cool and calm here.
Okay. So
Destiny's
basically,
where I
what
can
you're
get-
saying is
John,
my
John-
future here at this company is determined on how much you let me berate me. And
It's determined on how much you play Destiny with me.
okay.
As long as you keep playing Destiny with me,
Okay.
you have a place.
John, you ever talk about like you ever talk to a guy like those extreme sports junkies, those guys who do like skydiving or wingsuiting? You ever talk to a guy who does that? They are universally just the chillest, like nothing affects them, cool dudes. Because the adrenaline, when they seek that adrenaline high, and that's where they find themselves emotionally, right?
That's what Destiny is.
That's what Destiny is for us here, right?
Skydiving.
That high level.
It's the
of
peak.
intensity.
Destiny is the pinnacle of human like.
Destiny is our
experience.
extreme
Yeah.
sport.
That is the peak of like really
That's
wow.
the best.
So many
Destiny is
listeners.
your
So many listeners
skydiving.
right
You
now
guys
just
are
shaking
my
their head
heroes.
Like, wow. I looked up to these guys and they really are kind of sad.
You know what? But the 3 people who are like, I get that. I have to apologize.
There is
for my
someone that
actions.
gets that. There's
And you know
someone
what?
out there
You know
that's
what?
listening.
And
They're
those
like,
ballers, and those ballers know.
Mm-hmm.
Those ballers
Our
know how to
fellow
roll.
guardians.
Our fellow guardians. protectors.
I gotta
of the
play this
light.
game. You guys have sold me. Put
You
me
should
in
come
there.
Join.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I should practice first. I feel like I should not just join.
You know what? For all the
Well, even if you join, you'd have to spend like
Yeah.
a good 12 to 20
it's
hours.
It's a lot of time to get into it. But
before
Benji,
you
you'd be
get
fine.
to our level to do the stuff.
Because you
we're
would
doing.
apologize.
Wait, what? I have to play 20 hours before I can just play in a level with you guys?
Pretty much.
Oh man.
It's a commitment, Benji.
Sounds
you
like it.
don't enter. You
You don't step
play.
into commitments lightly.
It's kind of like a selling your soul to the devil thing. Like it's gonna be really fun and fulfilling in a sense, but like you're a good chunk of your life
You have
You don't
to
just
okay.
casually
will
pick up
disappear before
skydiving.
your very eyes.
That's true. That's
Right,
true. You don't
right.
just that makes
Maybe
Maybe
sense.
tandem
someone's-
for a while,
You go tandem for a bit.
Get
But
them
when you get
hours
into
in.
skydiving, that's a full weekend.
and then eventually you get in
It's
that
true.
wingsuit, and that's where we're at. We're in the wingsuit of destiny.
We're in the
right
wingsuit
We're
phase.
cresting mountains.
Can I just go on as a little sidebar? I was Googling Destiny merch, and I
now.
came
Wait,
across.
were you going to buy Destiny stuff?
Well, I was
Were you
just
buying me a
curious.
present?
I was
You
just
can buy
curious.
Matt a present. That's so thoughtful.
Well,
of
dude,
you.
I mean,
Christmas
I
is
would
coming up.
I would totally buy everyone this if I could, but they're totally sold out.
Yeah.
They have Ngram stress balls. Have you seen those?
Oh no!
Dude, they have it's like a set of like all of the
way.
colors. You buy a set of stress balls and
Wait,
it's like
from them
purple,
officially,
green.
or it was like XD?
They're official. They're official, but they sold out extremely quick. So they're listed on the store, but they're like sold
Oh,
out.
they'll come back.
Dude, I'm saying like we got to work our Activision connection
Yeah.
right now and get some of those.
Get
Well,
some Destiny stress
Funny
balls.
that you bring that up because we're actually sponsored by Destiny. It's Destiny stress balls. So we'll,
Destiny stress
We've
balls.
got a
when you
shipment.
need.
We'll open the box next podcast.
Dude.
we'll open the box next podcast. Don't worry.
Dude, that would help
By
me
the way, that's not
focus
how-
if I had
That's
something
not
to
how
get stressed out.
sponsorships work. No, you need both your hands on the fucking controller,
Okay.
John.
That's your problem.
Sometimes we're
Guys,
sometimes
I don't think I should play.
Yeah.
John, did you just suggest that you were going to take one hand off the controller to relieve stress?
Yeah,
That's what
because
it
sometimes we're
sounded
just
like.
sitting around, be like, okay, how do we get past this room?
You know
And
what we
I
should
can
do? You know what we should do? Well, next time we go, we should be like, just get on Yelp and be like, all right, cool, like travel massage people, and just be like, it's just like, you know, like massage therapist, and just call one over and be like, John, there's gonna be a knock at your door in about 10 seconds. And they're like, what is that? It's like, John, sit down. You're gonna play. We've sent a massage therapist
weird.
to keep you in the game.
That would be freaking bliss,
That'd be cool.
dude. If you're willing to spring for show up at home masseuse, I would be like so in the game. I would
Yeah.
just be like,
Wait, really?
immersed.
Would that?
Really?
Will that?
So in the
wait,
game.
wait, back up. To be clear, I just want to make sure you're making a contract here with me, a social contract. If we get you a masseuse to massage you while playing Destiny, will you pay attention and not screw
Yeah,
around?
I mean, I'd have to swallow my pride because Jake would probably just be like, is shaking his head at the sight.
You know what?
Of
That's
me
what it is.
Shirtless.
We have to do that
Shirtless-
only when we know Jake can walk back home into it, though. Like,
That's what it
that's
is.
the only thing we have to make sure.
John is still under the peer pressure of his roommate. Like he can't sit there and apologize.
It's
and be
not
like,
pressure.
"Sorry
He's
about
not.
that."
He's fine with it. It's just more of just like it's
Personally,
more.
yeah.
It's not. It's nothing from him. It's more just like
You're
like
embarrassed,
self-loathing. Like like because he's Jake. Just
So you
Jake's
hate
like
yourself. That's what it is. For
It's-
playing the game, you hate yourself.
Should we get into
You
some
can't
real
accept
talk?
it.
Do you
This
hate
is some
yourself,
really
John?
deep
There's
stuff
just
that we've
there's a lot of
unlocked.
things I want to accomplish before I die, and I know that
Getting
some of those things
12 exotic
will not-
engrams is not one of them.
Like after like okay, instead of like the thought of I'm tired, I'm done, or my eyes hurt, I gotta end this game. Like after a 10-hour day of Destiny or whatever game you're playing, John, you're of the mind where you go, oh, that was so much fun, and then your brain goes one next step and you go, oh, that was 10 hours where I could. That's something in my
accomplished
life
something,
now.
yeah.
That's something on like when I'm about to die. There's something that I have to
Yeah.
cross off.
So
now.
let me
I'm
give-
Yeah, but
Here's
here's the thing though. I
Here's
give,
advice.
I get it's a little above that just because of the communal aspect. You're like it feels like like
Mom, I'm playing with
That's
my
what I
friend.
say.
Yeah, you're
here's
playing-
here's advice
yeah.
from a man many years you're
More
older.
senior?
you're senior, John.
Yeah.
You need a balance between your work and your life. If you're playing too much Destiny, that you should not be playing. We should not be playing so much that we're constantly losing sleep over it. But relaxing.
Has
and
your
playing games is
wife
not a
said
problem.
anything to the effect of like maybe you should play a little less Destiny?
She hasn't said you should play a little less because she's seen this enough that she knows. She's like, how much longer do you think it's going to be like this? And I was like, it's probably going to be another week or so where I'm playing this much. She's like, okay. But she's
Now
known me for a
that-
very long time. That's a real relationship.
That's
pretty good. Yeah,
That's
why
being
you're
together
married.
for
Real
10 years.
relationship isn't
Yeah.
saying, "Oh, you need to stop."
I'll tell you what, I can't stop watching Bold and the Beautiful and getting dinner every night, though. It's like, well, that's the compromise. I pick up dinner every night and I watch.
go.
I watch the show. But
Beautiful.
yeah, I forget where I was going. Oh, John, you're spending time with friends.
That's what I
And
just
also-
said.
Yeah.
Just
Exactly.
said that.
Yeah.
And here's the other thing: if you were putting your head 100% in the game, it would be worth it. Because that puzzle solving, that leadership skills you can get from leading a raid, I know it sounds silly, but it helps me every day. be the man I am.
You need to write a book with like wearing a suit on the cover, and you're being like
the 10 Habits of Highly Successful Raid Leaders by Matt Arnold. Number 10, Matt. What would you say? Let's just
You know what
outline
we
the
should
book.
do? We should just do like how to achieve success in business.
Success
but
in
all my
business and destiny.
advice is like be a good raid leader, and just completely nonsense.
It's like communication is key. Sometimes when you got two witches,
when you
on
buy a
both
game,
sides-
complete it. Don't go from one game to the other. Losers do that. A real leader buys a game, finishes it to completion, then buys his next game. If you do that,
or
you'll
Matt's,
find
or
success
Matt's
in
case,
business.
or in Matt's case, accidentally pre-orders the same game twice from
have
two
done
different
that.
retailers and then
Twice.
gets two
And
copies
the
of
special
the game.
edition with the big box.
You know what I
Yeah,
do?
man. I feel like
Toy.
you just buy stuff on default. I don't believe that you're completing every one of these games that you're buying. Like, come on, like.
John.
John, he is.
Do as I say, not as I do.
All right, hold on.
The guy
Because
is
I definitely I was just trying to come up with a fun advice piece. I definitely don't come close to. That's why we're not successful at business, John. I don't follow these.
You should just be like a Joel Osteen bullshitter. You know what I mean? Like just the guy who's
Who's
just
Joel
like.
Osteen?
He's that guy with the beady eyes who's like giving
Careful, John,
like
don't get us
life.
sued.
He's giving like successful life advice.
Oh, the guy on YouTube.
I don't know. He's
He
everywhere.
shows up. Yeah,
Hold
yeah.
on, wait, let me look
He's
up
like, this is my Ferrari. You can learn that
Is it
guy.
that guy?
No,
Is it the guy
no.
with the
I think it
car
might
in the
be.
garage?
There's
That was the funniest.
know
I gotta
you
say,
got one in
I
front,
gotta
cool.
say, that worked. I watched that video.
I was curious. I was like, who is? But I was more just like, who are you?
Well, yeah.
That's all I need.
But that's all you need.
Yeah.
Hey, he hit upon something that worked. It was enough that people made fun of it.
Speaking as your former roommate, Matt, I 100% believe that you are beating all of these games because I've never seen another human operate, and it still blows my mind to this day. I don't know how you do it, or I don't know how it's possible, but the way you operate on the amount of sleep that you get.
Yeah,
You know how you do it? You fall apart
Unbelievable.
at this age, and now I go to bed every night at 10 o'clock. That's what happens.
You hit a wall.
You hit a
There's
wall.
a wall at some point.
I think our friend had a theory that you have X number of sleepless nights.
Yeah.
And
Once you hit it, it's over.
I've used them up. If you had like 400 or 500, whatever it is, they're all gone.
as of now, you've used them up.
Oh yeah,
So
I believe
are you
it.
sure you're ready for this raid tonight?
dude. I'll tell you what. That staying up to 1:30, like I was the first when people were like, when I was in that. We remember when we were in that maze. I was like, we can. Let's end it on a good note, everybody. We beat the boss. Let's go to bed. Let's not be in this maze because I was getting sleepy. And tonight, I don't think we'll go much past. When I was playing Destiny, I was playing raids and nightfalls till like 4 or 5 a.m. Like last
And then you
year.
get up at what 8 to
Yeah,
go to
that's
work.
not happening anymore.
Jesus
I go to bed at 10 o'clock every night now. Because I wake up earlier because my wife wakes up earlier.
And then when
But
you get up, you play.
I do play. I do play when I get up.
Are you worried that like I don't know like investors or someone's gonna like hear this and
too
be
late.
like what like
too
we've backed a company that's run by man babies.
I don't think there was ever any question about that, Joe.
No.
I don't think anybody looks at what we do, making internet videos, and thinks these are mature and old adults. They think these are all man children who figured out a way to still be man children.
Sometimes there'll be a time where 2 months from now I'll play Destiny very little, and then every time I wake up, it'll be watching a movie or TV. I go in phases. I consume. So right now I'm playing a lot of games. In a couple months, I'll be watching all my Criterions again. It just is what it is.
Also,
Right
man,
now,
rotation.
gaming.
that formula's worked so far. It's been working so far so good.
Ain't broke, don't fix it.
Ain't broke, don't fix it. John,
don't
this
know
is
where
just
that-
there's a lot
true.
of life advice coming at you. I'm sorry. This is a very
So I'm
instructive.
glad you're here at this company.
Oh, thank you.
I'm always
I'm
glad,
glad you're on the
John's
raid team
around.
with me.
I'm gonna have to get in on one of these raids. I guess I'll have to
If
set
anything,
aside
I'll put
20
this way.
hours
If
to get
anything-
myself ready.
No, you're
You
gonna be
should.
part of the Eli thing.
You should watch.
Okay.
You should watch.
I'll watch first. I'm gonna get into this. It sounds like fun. I really like the intensity.
I knew you would.
It's. I think I need to get into it for the intensity. I've
there's one
been
thing we
shut out
got-
of
No,
intense
I-
situations for too long now.
Hands
and I
down
need to
the
get
most
back into it.
intense gaming.
Really?
Like the relay race thing we did was
Yeah.
just great, and the amount of coordination was just like go go go, and then like it's really hard to sum it up.
Great though.
It was so cool when you completed that.
No, I loved it.
was
I loved it.
Literally,
It was
it was 3 teams of 2, and like one person had to stay on the platform. Otherwise, everybody dies like instantly.
Yeah.
And then there's a middle thing. Essentially, it's like a relay where you stay on the platform and you get like 10 energy, and you run up to the middle and extinguish it. But then somebody else has to take your spot because they'll die.
Gotcha.
But there's bad guys spawning in both places. So it's literally a relay of it's like and I have it. Go, and then they run. And then they are extinguishing. Somebody else is running. And it's just this like relay of 3 people rotating. And the moment you get to any spot, you have to kill all the bad guys. And then we're all literally saying out loud when we have the items because you have to tell the person.
They're spawning more and more enemies as they're going.
That sounds cool. That sounds.
It was intense.
That sounds fun.
We're gonna do. It took us like 3.5. I think we did in about 4 hours where we got to. I guarantee you tonight we'll get it done in like 2. Honestly, I think the hardest part is gonna be the jumping puzzle again. And I bet you we'll get through it in about 2 hours or an hour and a half, and then we'll probably at least beat the next boss. Maybe we'll beat the whole raid tonight.
How many bosses are there in a raid?
3 bosses.
3 main ones.
Oh.
You know, the relay is not a boss. I don't know. I haven't spoiled the raid yet, so I don't know if there's any like tough. I know there's like a piston jumping thing. I know there's another jumping puzzle because they showed it in like.
Those jumping puzzles are intense. Really, it's fun, man. It's cool. It's intense.
Well, I'm glad to have you on, John.
You sold me.
Glad to
You're
be here.
a real asset to the team sometimes.
I'm the court jester. You know what I mean? Like.
Sometimes
he slips on a banana peel and ruins the queen's dress.
I'll tell you what. I'll tell you
by the way,
what.
real quick, when SEAL Team 6 took down Bin Laden, they did have a jester on the team. You're right, they did have a jester.
I'll try to scream at you less, but it's in this.
No, John. They did not. No, John.
I was really
SEAL Team
intrigued. I was
6
like,
yeah, that's
please
who Geronimo
did not have
was.
someone for laughs when they went on their highest, most important missions, John. No, they didn't. Of course not, John.
My wife hasn't complained about how much I've played, but she did too. And when she woke up the next morning, I was like, "Was I waking you up? Did you hear me screaming at John?" And she's like, "Matt, you were screaming at John a lot last night. So tonight I'll try to scream less." She's like, "You should be nicer to John." So
that was nice.
I'm gonna be the devil. I'm gonna be the devil on your shoulder. No, you shouldn't.
I'm gonna let you be. I know I shouldn't. I mean, I know. If we're gonna win,
You know what it is? You know what we need to do? Sorry, John. You plug your ears here. We should do good cop, bad cop with John.
No, we should be back up. It's gonna be good tonight. We'll have fun.
I'm gonna have to check some out. I'll be here late tonight anyway, so I'm gonna have to check it out. I'll check it out.
Should we talk about horror movies for 20 seconds?
We got like 3 minutes. We got to wrap it up anyways, so we'll just do it as like a lightning round, just because it's October. And this way we can make ourselves feel better and say we did something in theme.
Yep.
Just throw out one movie, horror movie you want someone to watch that's maybe not super well known.
Oh shit!
Like
Not
just something.
John must have know some.
Just something. I mean, I know mine, but that's because I already knew what we were gonna go with, and I didn't tell you. I would say Monster Squad, because it is on Netflix now, and I was blown away to see that it was on Netflix. That was one of my favorite movies growing up.
Yeah,
I think that thing's a classic.
Oh, here we
Can't
go.
get
I
enough
got
of
one.
it. And that's what I would say.
do
Go
you
home,
got?
watch Monster Squad. Everyone.
Monster Squad. It's on Netflix.
Yeah.
There you go. I was gonna say when you first were talking, it was like Alien or Exorcist. My two favorite, but I mean, people have seen it. Dumpling, or I guess it's three. It's the 3 Korean films, short films, but the best one is Dumpling. And I think it was shot by the guy who did Lady in the Water. I forget his name. I don't know why I'm forgetting his name. Really good cinematographer.
Christopher Doyle?
Yes, Christopher Doyle. I'm almost certain. It was a non Korean guy. Dumpling's messed up. It's about a woman who's losing her husband because she's aging, and then she finds out that you can eat these dumplings from this black marketplace that is made out of fetuses. It's messed up. It's messed up. Interesting gender politics. Interesting movie. Beautifully shot. I think there's also a long version of it, but just watch the short version.
Nice.
All right, cool. I never heard of it. I'll check that out.
I got one. It's a kind of a weird deep cut. It's not really a good movie, but definitely a really interesting movie. It's called Wild Zero.
Is that? Yeah.
It is a biker zombie movie, but with a Japanese punk band, and they are the leads of it, and it's incredible. It's just ridiculous. And it has one of my favorite scenes of all time, which is there's like a kind of like schlubby main character, and he meets Guitar Wolf, who's the guitar player for this band, and Guitar Wolf tells him to believe himself and all that stuff, and then not 2 minutes later in the movie he gets scared, and they flash back to the scene where he meets Guitar Wolf again, which happened 2 minutes. And it was like that's like one of my favorite flashbacks.
I've only seen pieces of it, but everything is really good.
It
sounds rad.
It's pretty rad. Not really that scary, but definitely a good deep cut foreign horror movie called Wild Zero. Jon Karmen to finish it off.
Okay. Steve Jobs, the new Steve Jobs film.
Oh my god!
It centers on
everybody who was sympathizing with you.
Hold on,
who was like
hold
mad
on.
for too much.
You haven't seen
you
it.
said that.
You haven't seen it. It's about a man. It's about a man who is monstrous and cruel to his subordinates in order to inspire greatness,
Yeah.
including his own daughter. I think you guys could relate, I think, to a man of such ambitions. You know what I mean?
Nice.
And character. I think
John's
you'll see
playing
some of
6 hours
yourselves.
Destiny a day.
I think you'll see some of yourselves in that film, and and perhaps you'll get scared as well as I did.
And that's what we have to deal with on the raids, everybody.
That's where the horror
Steve
comes
Jobs
from.
was
Seeing
your horror
yourself.
movie. Real quick, just okay. Thanks everybody. Steve Jobs, Jon Karmen's horror movie for the month of October. Okay.
Everyone, go get your spooks in. Check out Jobs in theaters.
I heard Steve Jobs.
It'll make your skin crawl. He does not. They make him look like a pretty big monster in that.
I heard that Steve Jobs often invited his employees to play games with
Well,
him and
no,
have
no,
a great
people were
time.
terrified of it. People
Yeah.
were terrified of getting a raid invite because you couldn't
Yeah,
say no to
yeah.
Steve.
Like it's
People would be
crazy.
like, hey, sorry, what do you do here at this company? Do you want a raid tonight? And
Yeah.
everybody just palms sweat, just
Yeah.
nonstop.
You
It
want to
was
just
a very
hang out? Do
scary
you want to just hang
experience.
out with Steve Jobs all the time?
He would threaten his employees with like Russian roulette. His daughter.
What? Really?
You'll see. Not like.
No, I think
literal
we
Russian.
could learn something from Steve Jobs. I haven't. You saw it.
Yeah, John it's not a horror movie, John.
Did you see it?
I
No.
was next to you in the theater.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Yeah. Yeah. That's what. Sorry. That's right.
Wow.
Oh, I also heard that. I also heard that Steve Jobs often went to movies with his employees. He was so monstrous.
Yeah,
too. Yeah.
Yeah.
We never got a chance to really talk. We had to like leave right after. We never got a chance to really.
Usually you
discuss
do
our
have
thoughts.
to when the movie is over. Yeah.
I'm
We'll
gonna
save
see
it
this
for the
weekend.
next
I'm gonna see
one.
it this weekend. We'll talk.
All right. Well, hey, listen. Thanks everybody for hanging with us for a spell.
Oh, thanks to everybody that came to Comic-Con.
Oh
right?
yes,
I saw
and
your
for those
stuff.
of you who stopped
Yeah.
by our panel at the, I joked because it was in the Pepsi Perfect Theater near Comic Con, and people were like, "What room are you in?" After the last time, I was like, "It was the Pepsi Challenge Theater. You gotta take the Pepsi Challenge before you can get in." We showed a little bit of the Hulu show. It was received very well. A short that was directed by new director Ashley Birch,
Awesome.
and the show's coming out December 2nd.
Boom.
So mark your calendars. I don't know, do you guys have calendars?
Yeah.
Mark them.
Yeah.
Show's coming out, did real good at New York Comic Con. Got some good response. So any of you who stopped by, thank you very much. We do very much appreciate you helping fill up that room. And
Awesome.
yeah, until next time, right?
Yep.
Thanks very much, Benji, Jon Karmen, the world's greatest Destiny player, Matt Arnold, the most tyrannical boss, and me, Freddie Wong, one of the
Regular
a
cool
monster.
guy, Freddie Wong.
Just regular cool guy, Freddie Wong.
One of the
Thank you.
monsters.
One of the greatest of the greatest
Supervillains.
supervillains of all time. Thanks very much, and we'll see you all next time.
So,